Hello, my name is ШестункинаП and I'm from Gymnasium number 1 Balakova. Our social life has a major impact upon languages, and it doesn't matter is it written or spoken. Our everyday life leads to the changes in the language, and even though we can't see that vividly, if we will think about that a bit, we will see the difference. So, today in the globalizing world, English is widely spoken, and we can't deny that fact. Maybe even in several years, students will be obliged to pass the English state exam. English, of course, people try to make other languages so universal, like Esperanto, but they couldn't persuade the world authorities in this necessity. So English nowadays also is used for specific purposes, for example, business, medicine, aviation, or science. Today I would like to tell you about English in aviation. So the aim of my work is to persuade you that English is very important in this sphere and that it is vital for us. What is more, I want to highlight the peculiarities of English for specific needs. This sphere is very serious, and maybe even future generations will work in this field because it is on the border between linguistics, social sphere and the world of technicians, which is overlapping for the sake of people and the world. So the official use of English as the language of international aircraft control didn't emerge until the Second World War. On the conference in Chicago in 1944, this problem was firstly faced, and it was the first step in making English the lingua franca. The main reason for that is that it will be much convenient for pilot to see the general situation if all pilots in his neighborhood are speaking in the same language. According to statistics, English, some native speakers, pilots who are native speakers, they usually neglect the rules and they don't act according to the standards, and that is why a flight can be unsafe and can even cause the crash. So all pilots, and it doesn't matter from what country and what nationality they are, they must know English at least 4 level. Can you imagine living in the world with 38 different dialects? And if we will speak with a person with a dialect, it will be very difficult for us sometimes to understand the person, and that is why we can use our emotions, we can write, draw, and pilots, they don't have even time for doing that, and that is why they must be really focused on their flight. So there were a lot of cases when, because of misunderstanding between pilot and the controller, it led to the crash. I would like to tell you about one of that. It was on March 27th in 1977. The main factor that caused the accident was the use of non-standard phrases in radio communication. The main thing was that pilot couldn't understand may he take off or not, and maybe in an ordinary day it will be easily solved, but on that awful day when there was a terrible fog and it was impossible to see anything, that is why it led to crash. Some people may say that aviation English is very simple and plain, but pilots sometimes have difficulties in communicating because because it is difficult for them to go according to the standards. For example, if you want to say that you didn't understand something, you can't say, "Could you repeat again? Could you please? What did you say?" And the only phrase which is accepted is "say again." Also, before asking question, you must say the word question, and before answer something, you must say the word answer. Even such simple words as yes and no are told in a different way because they are rather short, and that is why they can be disappeared in the hiss of a radio. So yes is called affirm and no negative. Also words as mayday. Also there are words which have which have special meanings. For example, mayday, as I said, is urgently, the plane is in danger, and pan pan, possible assistance needed. Also, even numbers are told in a different way. For example, number 5 and 9 are told in differently because they can pronounce in the same way, and that is why 9 is nina and 5 thief. It is interesting that if you want, for example, to say the height, you can't say height is 1,200, you must say height 1200 meters, so you must pronounce everything separately. English in aviation is an essential part, and while making my research, I made the conclusions, so here they are. English is the real lingua franca in aviation, and while making my research I read a lot of materials, and that is why now I can definitely say to you that English language can be changed a bit when it is used for a specific purpose. And what is more, it doesn't matter is the person speaking or non-speaking, because he must know English very well and he must perform according to the standards. So thank you for your attention.